Hi everyone, it's Sandra. Welcome to today's video. It's going to be my last video of 2017, and what better way to end a year and start a new one than with an empties and new products video. These are my favorite videos to film, mostly because it gives me an excuse to buy new products and I can get rid of all the empty packaging that I have amassed over the last few months. Now I try to do these things in categories. I would try to wait to use up a whole bunch of items from the same category before I show you the new things that I've replaced them with. Sometimes for the sake of comparing and contrasting products, it can be helpful. So some of these empties are quite old. They range from like about the past year. So I have 3 shampoo empties here that I'm going to go through. 2 of them are purple and then one of them is geared towards color treated hair. So they're all kind of aimed towards keeping my hair color looking fresh for as much as possible. And the 2 purple shampoos that I have, I no longer repurchased them. I didn't repurchase a purple shampoo because I found a purple hair mask that I've really been loving this year, and that's the one I plan on continuing to repurchase. And if you want to watch my Best of Beauty 2017 video, that's where I talk about that product more at length. So make sure you check that out if you're interested. But I did want to use up any scraps of old shampoos that I had just to kind of clear out the clutter. And this is the Unite Blonda shampoo. This is great at toning. It has a lot of purple pigment to it and it did a good job at toning, but it was quite drying. I have to kind of alternate with something more gentle. The Oribe Bright Blonde shampoo is sulfate free. This was a lot more hydrating and gentle for my hair, but it wasn't as good as toning the hair. So there's kind of shortfalls with both of these. Then I also used up an Aveda Color Conserve shampoo. I used to religiously use this range. I used to have like the big salon size pump bottles of this a few years back. Fell out of love with the range, so I have not repurchased it. I did enjoy using it up. I like the way it smelled and everything, but I just found products that suit my hair type better. So I've been using these lately and I've really been enjoying them. This is the Pureology Clean Volume System, and it's like it was designed with my hair in mind because it's for fine color treated hair. I have very fine hair and I don't have a lot of it. It has a beautiful soft herbal scent and it just gives me the perfect amount of root lift. When I styled my hair this morning, the only thing I did was actually wash my hair with the shampoo and the conditioner. I didn't use any additional styling products because I wanted to show you how it looks like. So I just blow dried it and then curled it with a curling iron, and it still gave me a little bit of texture even though I didn't use any extra product. These were sent to me by the company and I've really been enjoying them. They also gave me a coupon code that you can use. It's called Sandra25. So if you want to check these out and get 25% off, I don't make commission from the sales or anything like that. They now ship to Canada, so you can just go to pureology.ca if you want to try out any of the products. Especially if you have fine hair like me, you will really like this range. They also kindly sent me a whole bunch of other stuff to try, which I will be making my way through, but the shampoo and conditioner did an awesome job and made kind of a lasting impression. I also tried the mousse. I didn't try it when I washed my hair now, but I did try it last week and I did enjoy it. I'm not usually a mousse person because I find that whenever I use mousse, I have to wash my hair the next day. It just makes my hair feel really weighed down and dirty. This one didn't do that and actually was able to get like 4 days of wear. It gave me, again, nice root lift, a nice bit of thickening. It's kind of replaced this product for me. This was the Frieda Luxurious Volume Spray. This was really good at smoothing my hair and it gave me a little bit of body through the lengths, but it did not give me any root lift. So I find that the mousse kind of accomplishes everything that I want. I have 3 cleanser empties, and the everyday cleanser that I love is the Glossier Milky Jelly Cleanser, but I do like to have more than one cleanser in my arsenal. I like to have a couple of different alternatives depending on how my skin is feeling. I used up the Cerave Renewing SA Cleanser. This was really nice and gentle. It also has salicylic acid in it, and it was slightly foaming. This did the job, but I found that if I was using it regularly on a daily basis, it was drying on my skin. So that's why I kind of just delegated it to an occasional shower cleanser when I needed a little bit of extra exfoliation. Then I also used up the Roche Posay Toleriane cleanser. This is a very gentle cleanser. Not that great at removing makeup, and I also found that if I didn't use a washcloth to remove it, it left a slight film on my skin, but it's a great cleanser when your skin is feeling super dry, super sensitive, super irritated. It's a good one to have in the winter time. And then we have the the Oskia Renaissance Cleansing Gel. Is a very famous, well-loved product in the beauty community, especially the UK beauty YouTubers love this, and I did really enjoy this. However, I also have discovered the Jordan Samuel Skin Plie Treatment Cleanser, which is very similar to this, but the Jordan Samuel Skin is a little bit better at removing makeup, and it's just easier for me to get a hold of. And the one fancy cleanser that I thought I would treat myself to in order to replace the three is this Tracie Martyn Amla Purifying Cleanser. The packaging is tiny and it's super expensive. This was $65 US for this tiny cleanser. The nice thing about it is that it's completely airtight. I really like how sleek the packaging is. The ingredients list is fantastic. It has salicylic acid, lactic acid, malic acid, and ascorbic acid. So this is a really nice brightening, exfoliating morning cleanser. It does foam up a tiny bit. And I really do find that if I give myself a good massage with it in the morning, it does a great job at actually brightening and exfoliating the skin. The only thing I don't love about it is the scent. It kind of smells like tequila, and it also really stings my eyes. So this is the type of product, probably because it's full of acid, that you really do not want to get anywhere near your eyes. And it's kind of hard for me not to get cleanser in my eyes, especially when it's a formula that is kind of slightly foaming and you're supposed to mix it in with water. I'm not sure if I would repurchase, but for now I'm going to enjoy using every single drop of this. Next, let's talk foundation. I actually used up 3 foundations and I'm really excited about it because foundation is my favorite thing to buy and try. I used up the Dior Nude Air Foundation. This is a serum foundation. It had this little dropper dispenser system and I did really enjoy this. I used this in the shade 021, which matched me in the spring and summertime. It didn't really match me that well in the winter time. I remember really loving it when it first came out, but I've just found foundations that I like better. I think Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk is better, and if I had to choose between the two for like a glowy foundation option, I would choose that one over this one. Mostly because I really hate this dropper application system. I always end up dropping something on my clothing. I've stained many work trousers with this foundation, so I would rather just stick to something that comes out of a tube or out of a pump. I also used up the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. I use this in the shade Warm Nude. I ended up liking this a lot more throughout the end of its life than I did when I first got it. Probably because I came up with a system of application that really worked for me. And the best way that this worked for me when I was applying it was using an Artiste brush first. So I would just drop the foundation on the Artiste brush, then kind of spread the foundation all over my face using that brush, and then using a beauty blender on top to work it into the skin. And I found that just gave me such a flawless skin-like finish. This foundation gives an awesome medium to full coverage. It's like a more higher coverage version of Armani Luminous Silk to me. That's the kind of impression that I got from it. So I did really enjoy it. However, in terms of color, I do find myself finding a better match in the Giorgio Armani foundation family. And I think if you have more dry skin, dry to normal skin, I think you will really enjoy this product a lot more. I wouldn't recommend it if you're more combination oily, because I was only able to use this in the winter time. Then the other foundation that I used up is, oh, my old favorite, the By Terry Cover Expert. I had a couple of bottles left of this lying around, and this foundation has been reformulated and it's not as good as it used to be, but yeah, this was my favorite foundation ever. I'm not going to go on and wallow too much about it. It's no longer available, but I loved it. And the 2 foundations that I got in order to kind of replace those both make very similar promises. They claim to be long-lasting and have very high coverage. The first is the famous Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. Right now I'm using shade 1W2 Sand, and I really enjoy this. When I first used this foundation years and years ago, my skin was a lot worse. I was struggling with persistent active acne, and it was also way before the beauty blender was invented. So I really did not like the way this foundation looked on my skin, and I also thought that it made me break out more. But realistically, my acne was so bad at that point that I don't really think that it was caused by this foundation. But in my head, I was like, oh, that's the foundation that broke me out. But no, I continued to break out for years, even after I stopped using this. But I do really enjoy this. It wears beautifully on my skin, and it's nowhere near as cakey and heavy as I had envisioned it to be. I'm not sure if they have reformulated it since I first tried it like 7 years ago. They probably did. I think it's a great option whenever I'm having a bad skin day, and it really doesn't look that matte on the skin. The Tom Ford waterproof foundation has a lot more of a matte mask-like finish than the Estee Lauder Double Wear. So this with the Beauty Blender looks beautiful. The only thing I don't like about it is that it does not come with a pump. I think that it's kind of ridiculous that they make you pay extra to buy a pump with it. I know that MAC make a pump that works with this, and Estee Lauder sells a pump separate. I just think that now we can get foundations with pumps even at the drugstore, so there's really no excuse for Estee Lauder to still sell this in the old school foundation way. I'm definitely going to be ordering a pump for this. So if you have like oily combination skin, if you have a multitude of sins that you want to cover, you have acne scarring, acne, texture, hyperpigmentation, anything like that, this is really good. The Tom Ford waterproof foundation, I have this in the shade Fawn, and I have to say that I don't love this. I do not think it's worth the money. I think the Estee Lauder Double Wear foundation is superior, and I kind of regret buying it, to be honest. It doesn't wear well on my chin. And if you watched the last video that I did with the Maybelline foundation, the Maybelline foundation was like $11.99, and it did not wear badly on my chin the way that this does. And this is marketed as a waterproof foundation concealer. Obviously, I'm going to make it work. I'm going to try mixing it in with other foundations that I have. Next up, let's talk sunscreen. I used up the Elta MD UV Clear. This is a wonderful sunscreen in terms of the ingredients list. It is a chemical and mineral sunscreen altogether, and it contains niacinamide, hyaluronic acid. The texture is absolutely beautiful. It feels like a light moisturizing lotion on the skin, and it's a sunscreen geared towards acne-prone skin. This was really, really highly recommended by a lot of dermatologists and a lot of people with similar skincare concerns, and I really did like this. The only trouble that I have with this is that it did not sit well under makeup. A lot of times it would make any foundation that I would put on top of it, it would make it pill and rub away. I heard that there's another Elta MD, I think the Elta MD Daily Sunscreen, the one that is similar in formula but without niacinamide. I heard that that one doesn't create a pilling problem, but that's the only thing I didn't really love about it. I found that every single time I wear it, which was every day, it always gave me a hard time with foundation application. So I wanted to try something else. I wanted to try maybe a sunscreen that was designed to be worn under makeup. So I bought this. This is the Tatcha Silken Pore Perfecting Sunscreen. This has SPF 35 in it. It contains octisalate and zinc oxide. And this is a beautiful light citrus scent, and it definitely has a more pore refining, it's more like a makeup primer texture. Whenever I apply this, it's like a thicker white cream, but as I rub it into the skin, I can't say that it's that pore minimizing, but this does not create any pilling. It doesn't make any makeup look weird on top. This sits beautifully on top of existing skincare. This sits beautifully under makeup. The only downside is that this is super expensive. This is $65. I will continue navigating the world of sunscreens, but I do really like this. So if you're looking for a sunscreen that stays beautifully under makeup, if you've had trouble with your sunscreen and your makeup in the past, I think this is great. It's definitely worth a try. The only deterrent to this is the price tag. I just think $65 to spend regularly on a facial sunscreen is super expensive, but if I don't find anything else that wears well under makeup, I'm gonna have to go back to this. Home stretch here, I have 3 face mists that I've used up in the last year or so, and these are face mists that I use as like toner. So I use them at the toner step. I do not use these products to set my makeup. The Natura Bisse C+C Vitamin Splash, this is a face mist with vitamin C in it. Really did not like this. It didn't smell that great. You do get a lot of product for your money. I liked the idea of a vitamin C face mist, but did not enjoy it enough to recommend it. Then I also used up the Kat Burki Balancing Elixir. This was the rose, it's like the rose peony version. They have since reformulated this. They have definitely improved the formula. They've reformulated it and has a lot more beneficial ingredients. It also has glycolic acid in it now. I also used up my Leilani Bohemian Ruby Balancing Toner. This was beautiful. I really enjoyed this. I bought this when I was in Hawaii, so it always reminded me of Hawaii every time I used it. But I did get a little bit bored of it, and I was watching Caroline Hyron's Best of Zellens video, and she described this product. And the way she described it was so wonderful that I just went onto the website, and I ended up ordering this the next day. The Z Balance Prebiotic and Probiotic Facial Mist. Now this is an extremely expensive facial mist. This was like close to $70, so it's definitely in the May Lindstrom Jasmine Garden price tag. This is way better than May Lindstrom Jasmine Garden, even though that one smells really fancy. It's got like a jasmine cocoa scent. With this, I've been using this for the last couple weeks every single day, and ever since I started incorporating this product into my routine, my skin stopped being temperamental. I stopped getting dry patches, helped balance everything out. This is the type of product that you reach for when your skin just is not listening to you. And yeah, I have to say that this actually works, which is great because the price tag is eye-wateringly expensive and it's kind of ridiculous to spend that much money on a face mist, but it does work, which is a big relief for me. It has a beautiful scent. It's like in the citrus family. It's a refreshing scent. And finally, the last product I want to talk about is a hydrating serum that I used up. This is the Institute Estederm Intensive Hyaluronic Serum. This was really good. A little went a long way. I use this every single day, day and night. One pump would cover my entire face. I instantly felt my skin looking more hydrated. It felt more plump after using this. I ended up getting the Bioderma Hydro Bio Serum. This is what I used before this. So between the two, I would choose the Bioderma. Just felt like going back to something familiar. And while the Bioderma isn't quite as hydrating as the Institute Estederm one, this is just so much easier for me to get. It's a lot more affordable, and this also contains niacinamide in it as well. So I went back to this. I really love this. I think you can't really go wrong with this product. It's great, especially if you're in Canada. You can just hop down over to Shoppers Drug Mart and pick it up. I think it's nice to have a standby hyaluronic acid everyday serum that's easily accessible. Obviously, I will still be trying out hyaluronic acids in the future. There's so many that I want to try, but for now, I'm gonna use up the Bioderma. And then I also bought this product. This is my first ever product from this brand. This is the brand Nyad. It's a Canadian brand. They're owned by the same company that owns The Ordinary. And this is the Fractionated Eye Contour Concentrate. It comes in this really fancy bottle. Everything has very fancy science names and comes in a little dropper. It's 15 milliliters. I use a drop on each eye, and this is recommended to use like on your eyelid as well and underneath here. And I've been using this for the last week and a half, and I absolutely love it. I have already seen results. My eyes are not puffy at all anymore in the morning, and they were super puffy every time I woke up. This completely got rid of all puffiness, and I also definitely feel an improvement in the elasticity of my skin, like on my eyelids and just underneath. I just feel like things are a little bit more tight. I haven't noticed any difference in like fine lines or anything. Maybe later on with regular use, I'll be able to report back if I notice any difference in fine lines. But in terms of puffiness and improving elasticity, I have already seen results, and it's been about a week and a half, which is super exciting. So this definitely makes me want to check out more from this brand. That is it for me. My skincare wish list is super long. My foundation wish list is also super long. I'm excited to use up some more stuff in the new year, and keep working through that wish list, keep trying out new products, and report back to you. Let me know what products you've been loving. Let me know what you have used up recently, what products are on your radar. A lot of my product inspiration comes from you, from the comment section. So I'll keep in touch with everyone over there. I hope you have had a wonderful, wonderful holiday season. I wish you a very, very happy new year, and I will see you in 2018 with a new video. Bye.